And we welcome those of you who are just joining us. You didn't miss much. The opening kickoff, Jacob DeJesus returns for Cal, and so the Golden Bears have the ball first to start their season. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Buonantony. Huge expectation, excitement level for the true freshman quarterback, Brock, who's making his college debut tonight.
Yeah, and rightfully so. A five-star prospect out of the state of Hawaii. A huge get for the Cal Bears, and you just nailed it, Flem. Sky-high expectations for this football program.
Jaron Kiave Songa Politele, and the first play from scrimmage is a handoff to Brandon High. It's a remade Cal roster. If you've watched college football all day, you've heard that a lot with a lot of different programs. So much of that focus is transfer players. In Cal's case, the energy, the excitement comes from this young kid.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, when you start talking to the coaching staff and his teammates, they say, listen, his poise, his confidence, the accuracy, the way he carries himself day in and day out, it is off the charts for a young man.
He's going to hand it off on second down, and a nice cut over the right side for Brandon High, the UTSA. Speaking of the game that just preceded us, transfer Brandon High now in Berkeley. Gain of 5 to set up third and short.
Cal playing with a little tempo here on third and short.
New offensive coordinator for the Golden Bears, and High gets the carry and did not get there. Tried to bounce it right side and got stopped for no gain.
It's a fantastic play by the defensive tackle, JoJo Johnson. Does a great job at the line of scrimmage. Big number 90 right in the middle, using his hands, getting off the block. And if you're an Oregon State fan, that is exactly what you want to see to start your season. A quick 3 and out and get the football back to your offense and Maalik Murphy.
They have a tradition of stout defense here in Corvallis, aggressive defensive play. They got away from that last year. Their head coach has taken over defensive play calling duties this season. Brooke Honore is the punter. There was some question about which punter Cal was going to use in this opener. And the first punt of the year for the Golden Bears ends up going backwards. And it'll be down at about the 28-yard line. Speaking of quarterbacks, Maalik Murphy comes here to Oregon State, and he has changed the tone in this Beavers program.
He really has, and it's the presence that he brings when whether he's walking into a room or he's on the practice field. You see the stats there: 2 wins at Texas, 9 wins at Duke last season, set a school record with 26 touchdown passes. This is a huge get for the Oregon State football program, and when you talk to his teammates, I think this is what the best quarterbacks in the world do. They make their teammates better, and that's what they all say Maalik Murphy has done.
But the problem for Maalik Murphy and the Oregon State offense is there was a penalty on the play, and Cal has a first down. Their possession continues. The penalty flag was way away from the game action, and the penalty was,
I think it was too many men on the field.
Too many men on the field. What a big special teams error for Oregon State. Now the first pass of the career of the young freshman, and it's caught. A contested catch along the left sideline. Tron Grizel with a big gain in the passing game, 35 yards.
Coming into this football game, all we heard about is how great the deep ball accuracy is for Songa Politele, and you saw it right there on that last play to Tron Grizel. Perfect back shoulder pass. Grizel goes up, secures the catch. Huge gain for the Cal Bears.
This guy has a huge ceiling, just great thrower of the ball. He slings that one out, a quick hitter to Brandon High out of the backfield for a gain inside the Oregon State 20. So a special teams penalty keeps the drive going, and here's a look at that punt play.
You're going to see number 7 trying to get off the field late, not able to do it before the snap, and once again, just an error that cannot happen early on here in the season, especially when you're about to get the football back for your offense after a 3 and out.
I guess it's always a little more understandable game 1, but still, that is a big penalty. Now nowhere to go for High. He managed to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And Cal's going to go running back by committee early in the season. In the early going of this opener, Brandon High getting the carries. Skylar Thomas with the tackle. It's 3rd and 5.
Completely rebuilt running back room through the portal. 5 guys left, 3 new guys come in. It's going to be running back room by committee, but 3rd down is where the Cal Bears need to get better. A season ago, they really struggled in this area. Now with Trent Bray taking over the coordinating position for the Beavers, I expect him to dial up pressure on the true freshman quarterback.
Yeah, you see the numbers. Terrible on 3rd down. They were terrible in the red zone last year. Back to pass. JKS rolling left. He's got plenty of time, and he'll throw it. It's caught. Touchdown. Mason Minnie, the tight end. And Jaron Kiave Songopolatele has his first career touchdown, and it didn't take long.
What a fantastic job by Jaron, just staying cool in the pocket. There's nowhere to go with the football. I said Trent Bray might bring pressure. He only rushed 3, so it was a drop 8 scenario. Jaron stayed calm, went through his progressions, got outside the pocket, and showed that accuracy off to get his first career touchdown.
Hey, it's a day in college football where true freshmen playing at the quarterback position, a big story at a lot of big programs. New quarterbacks all over the place. That is a great first impression for this 18-year-old kid. Chase Meyer for the point after for Cal, and it's up and good. They took advantage of a gift, a special teams penalty, and went all the way down the field to take a 7-0 lead.
You said it. The Golden Bears received a gift from the Beavers. Jaron throws a perfect back shoulder pass to tight end Mason Minnie, and Cal strikes first here in Corvallis.
And welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Old Spice. This is kickoff week, presented by Modelo. Been a fascinating day of college football around the country, and here we are in beautiful Corvallis, Oregon, where the Cal Bears are off to a very quick start. Took advantage of a special teams penalty, where the official who threw the flag actually threw it on the bench. Nobody could see the flag. Turned into a huge play. And a fair catch, touchback. The Beavers will get the ball. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Bonatoni. Great to have you with us here in Reser Stadium for a matchup of old rivals who aren't rivals in conference play any longer. Still a fun game to kick off the season for Cal and Oregon State. We saw the kid for Cal. Now Malik Murphy gets the ball for the first time. And we started to mention it when we thought the Beavers were getting the ball, but big expectations for him.
Yeah, there certainly is, and rightfully so. I mean, 9 wins a season ago at Duke and set a Blue Devil school record with 26 touchdown passes on the season. Ever since his arrival in Corvallis, he's really elevated the expectations of this football program, and there's a football on the ground on his first play as a Beaver.
Kind of an inauspicious start. We're pumping you up, Malik.
It only goes up from here.
Murphy, I mean, it was a shock, I think, to him and to a lot of people that Duke essentially decided to move on. 9-win season at Duke. They don't take those for granted. School record 26 touchdown passes.
No doubt about it. And that was his first year as a full-time starter in college football. Did some fantastic things. He really told us yesterday when we met with him some interesting things, how that went down leaving Duke, and had to find a school in a hurry. And here's at Oregon State.
Second and long. Murphy across the middle, and the pass is deflected and almost intercepted. Man, Hezekiah Massis made a play on the ball, and then the star linebacker for Cal, Cade Uluave, almost picked it off.
Well, that's Massis in coverage number 5. Gets a little handsy. I think it's a good no call. Just a good aggressive play at the line of scrimmage. And this is exactly where Oregon State didn't want to start the game. Now you're in 3rd and long after the fumble on first down. This is a team that really was one-dimensional a season ago. Couldn't get anything going in the pass game. And here you are, 3rd and long on your first series of the season.
You got a brand new quarterback. You have a very experienced, talented running back alongside him in Anthony Hankerson. But 3rd and 14 for the Beavers, their first drive of the year. Murphy trying to find somewhere to go with the ball. Deep across the middle and tipped up and incomplete. Intended for Taz Reddix. The fans here in Corvallis wanted a penalty flag, but Isaiah Crosby knocked it away.
Yeah, I think that was a really good play by Isaiah Crosby. He really times up that play. When he gets a hand in there, there's just a little bit of contact on Reddix as that football comes in, but I think that's a really good no call and a great job by the Cal defense forcing a 3 and out and getting the football back to the true freshman quarterback.
So the Beavers immediately have to punt the ball back to Cal. Couple of breaks for the Golden Bears to start their season. The special teams penalty that kept their possession going, and then the fumble on the first play from scrimmage. A penalty flag thrown on the punt play. So that's the second special teams flag we've seen. So we'll have to sort this out. This time the flag actually got thrown on the field of play where everybody can see it. That's usually the idea. ACC officiating crew. Our referee is Gary Patterson.
During the kick, holding, number 17, return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, is first down.
So Justin Wilcox, the head coach of the Bears, starting his 9th season in Berkeley.
It's going to be Jordan Sanford right in the middle of your screen. You see, as he starts a trip, he just pulls the Beaver down with him. Easy call for the officials.
So special teams penalty. Let's go down on the field to Stormy Buonantony.
Well, and now we're going to see drive number 2 for the true freshman Jaron Tongapulutele, who I asked him coming into this game, first true start on the road in a hostile environment. How are the nerves? He said, this is probably the best way to do it, right? Just jump right in. And he has looked so calm and at ease on the sideline, which echoed everything Justin Wilcox told us about him this week.
He's rolling out, and another perfect delivery out near midfield. What a start to this kid's career. That's the tight end Landon Morris.
Yeah, and to what Stormy said, you're seeing it right now. He's starting 4 for 4, 84 yards, already a touchdown. What a beautiful throw outside the pocket. You can tell this kid, he does not have nerves. This is exactly where he thinks he's supposed to be.
A quick tempo handoff to Kendrick Raphael, the transfer from NC State, getting his first Cal carry, and a nice gain into Oregon State territory, gain of 6.
You know, and the more we talk to the coaching staff throughout the week, they kept talking about his poise, about his leadership, how you would never guess that he is a true freshman, 18 years old, and he's putting that on full display here early in the first quarter.
Second down and a long 3 for the Bears. They'll hand it off again. Left side run and close. Maybe stopped about a yard short to set up 3rd down and 1. And I know we threw up that quick graphic at the start of the game about where he ranked in terms of the ESPN top 300 and whatnot. At the end of his college or high school career, all those showcase events, I think folks around the country thought this guy should be way higher than that. There are a lot of people who felt like this is an elite talent. A handoff on 3rd and short, and Cal gets the first down.
It's a great tough run inside by Kendrick Raphael, the transfer from NC State, to pick up a first down for Cal.
The Cal run game needs to be a big part of what they do. Last year, so much talent in the backfield, just didn't run it very effectively. And Tongapulutele, he had committed to Cal, then sort of blew up on the recruiting trail. Everybody got in on him. He flipped his commitment to Oregon, showed up and joined the Ducks program, actually went through Rose Bowl practices with Oregon, and then decided I should have just stuck with the Bears, and went actually officially is a true freshman transfer. And when he told everybody he was going back to Berkeley, I think it changed the whole feel of the program.
Oh, absolutely, because prior to his arrival, you know, everyone just said, hey, Devin Brown, the transfer from Ohio State, he's going to be the guy. And then all of a sudden you got this great quarterback competition between 2 great signal callers, which anytime you can get a competition like that, it's always going to be great for the program. And what a get for the Cal Bears to get this 5-star prospect.
And so far, so good. He's 5 for 5 for 93 yards in his first quarter of college action. That pass is caught! And another perfect delivery. Grizel, 32 yards, and it's 13-0 Cal.
What a start for this young man.
Oh, my.
Unbelievable. Great recognition. He recognizes man-to-man defense on the outside. He has a true freshman corner trying to cover his 5th-year senior go-to guy, Tron Grizel. And we heard about the deep ball accuracy coming into this game. It was on full display there on that last play. Great recognition, great throw, great accuracy.
Jaron's got a name that can be a little tricky to pronounce if you aren't familiar with it. Everybody around the country better start practicing, because this is a kid you're going to need to know about. What a beginning to his career.
Jaron Kiave Tongapulutele.
A+.
The kid is the real deal. Already 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter. 14-0 Bears.
To Tua, to Dylan Gabriel, who that young man says is really his role model. And I don't know, Brock, it's 8 minutes in, 7 minutes into his career. Do we have to update the billboard already?
Well, listen, he has a perfect start. 6 for 6, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. We talked to Justin Wilcox this week, and he said, listen, the kid's a natural. He does things that are just unique and rare to the position for a guy that is so young. We've seen that tonight. And to think about in Hawaii, he completely rewrote the record book. We just saw who played in Hawaii. Let's go back to his previous 2 touchdowns. Here's the back shoulder to tight end Mason Minnie. Just a fantastic job, feeling where the defender was, putting the ball in the perfect place, and then the outside slot fade to Tron Grizel. Just perfect location of the ball. You see the smile, you see the presence and poise he plays with. And boy, is he off to a perfect start tonight.
He's 18 years old. He's playing his first college game. He's 6 for 6, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns against a team that has a lot of optimism that their defense is much improved. Malik Murphy, second possession for the Beavers, going deep across the middle and wide open for a completion across midfield. And that's the local kid, Trent Walker, who grew up a big Oregon State fan and might be their best player on the outside.
It was a really great job on a hard play action. You see the linebacker step up. It freezes them just for a second. They lose the crossing route to Trent Walker, and that's exactly what the Oregon State Beavers needed, down 14-0 here midway through the first quarter.
They do. They need something positive. Oregon State, kind of a nightmare start at home, hoping that this year goes a lot differently than last year ended. Murphy will hand it off, and that's the first carry of the season for maybe their most talented all-around player, Anthony Hankerson. Gain of a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, going back to that explosive gain on first down, Oregon State Beaver fans have to be so happy because a season ago, they really didn't have any air attack at all. I mean, they couldn't throw anything deep, intermediate. All they had was quick game. They really had to rely on Anthony Hankerson in the run game. So to see that explosive gain here early in the football game has to make you optimistic.
But down 14 to start their season against a team that beat him up pretty badly in Berkeley last year. Hankerson gets away from the first would-be tackler, but not the second and the third, and he's dropped for a loss of 3. Luke Farrelly was in there in a flash.
Well, and it all gets started with Cade Uluwave, the junior linebacker, number 0. Watch how he just runs through the line. He's such an instinctive linebacker, one of the best in the ACC. He just shoots the gap, doesn't make the tackle, but he slows down Hankerson, allows his teammates to get there to make the tackle. Uluwave is someone that the offensive line has to keep their eyes on all night long. Otherwise, he will wreck your football game.
Yeah, he doesn't get statistical credit. He made that play. He might be one of the best defensive players in the ACC. Still sounds weird to say that with Cal. Little screen on 3rd and long, and a broken tackle. That was nice effort by Hankerson to get away and set up 4th down in a spot where maybe now the Beavers go for it.
Really nice job by Hankerson. That was Masses coming up trying to make that tackle. And I think because of that extra effort by Hankerson, I think the Beavers are going to stay out there and go for it on 4th down. And I really like this call. You're already down 14 points. You're in plus territory. Too long of a distance for a field goal. What does the punt do you? I think this is a great call by Trent Bray.
Converted about half the time last year. Went for it a lot on 4th down last season. Trent Bray's first year as the head coach last year. Starting year number 2, 4th and 4. Murphy in the pocket, and that one is incomplete. And the defender and the receiver, their feet got tied together. And Reddix was tripped up, and the pass was nowhere close.
I think that's a really good no call by the officials. Oregon State not able to convert on 4th down. Cal ball when we come back.
All right, Matt, thanks. Keep us posted on that game. Meanwhile, here, what a start for the Cal Bears as their offense back on the field with their sensational young quarterback who could not have dreamed up a better start to his college career. 1st and 10, Cal, as they start their 3rd drive. Songa Polatele slings it out to the left side, and Jordan King with his first catch. So JKS 7 for 7 to start his career.
I mean, he's been outstanding, but so have his teammates around him. He's had so much time in the pocket. New offensive coordinator Brian Harsin, I think he's done a fantastic job of changing up formations. You just saw a motion there, easy throw to the flat. I mean, as an offensive unit right now, it's been a clinic. Trent Bray and his defense, they have to find a way to get this Cal offense off schedule somewhere here in this drive.
It's a big year for Cal football. I mean, this is year 9 for their head coach, Justin Wilcox. And there have been some highs and some positives. Little dump down pass to the tight end, Mason Minnie, for a 1st down into Oregon State territory, a gain of 10 more yards. And there's, I think, more pressure than usual. Cal's been in flux, so maybe that mitigated a little bit of the pressure. There's Brian Harsin, who's here to try to help get the offense up to speed. We saw Cal a lot last year, Brock. Their defense was ACC championship, where they had a really good defense last year.
Well, and that's really what Cal has been under the Wilcox era. Over the last 9 seasons, you can say that. The defense has always been there. Last year, it was elite, especially in stopping the run. The offense has always been lagging behind. In comes Brian Harsin to score more points.
That was a cool little play, kind of a misdirection pitch, and the Beavers actually defended that pretty well. Brandon High with the carry.
Well, and that's what Brian Harsin's been known for. You go back to his days at Boise State as an offensive coordinator, where he averaged 41 points per game as a coordinator there for the Broncos. He'll give you so many different formations, shifts, motions, a lot of eye candy. It creates a lot of hesitation on a defense, and he's one of the best in the business at getting his star players the football in their hands.
L.J. Johnson in for the first time in the backfield alongside Songa Polatele. And the young lefty quarterback, another completion, just found his open guy, Tron Grizel, close to first down yardage.
Right there, you send the motion with Tron Grizel. As soon as you see the corner trailing behind him in man coverage, it just makes an easy decision for Jaron. Once again, Brian Harsin calling a great play. The protection's great with the offensive line. And JKS is slicing and dicing, 9 for 9 on the game.
Beavers late substituting off the field. Of course, they get the opportunity to do that once the offense substitutes, and plenty of time still on the play clock.
You got to expect Oregon State's going to bring some sort of pressure. They have to get the young quarterback uncomfortable and off his spot.
And now, right as the ball was snapped, Cal uses its first timeout. So a timeout for the Golden Bears. There's Justin Wilcox, who, I mean, by all accounts, extremely smart coach. He's done a really good job overall with a Cal program that has had so much chaos around it. And yet, there is pressure to break through and get to that next level. I think Cal fans are done with 6-win seasons, 7-win seasons. They want something a little better.
Yeah, but you feel like the Cal Bears are just so close to breaking through. You look back to last season, and in the first 7 games, they could have been undefeated. They lost 4 games by a total of 9 points, and that goes back to when we talked to Justin Wilcox this week. He said, listen, our defense has been good. We've been putting our team in positions to win games. We just need to score more points offensively. I expect this to be 4-down territory for Cal. If they have numbers inside the box, I expect them to run the football. If they get a man-to-man matchup outside, they might let it fly with Jaron.
3rd down and 3. He is back to pass. Here comes some pressure, and the ball batted up, incomplete. So there's the first incompletion of the night. Thomas Collins, the guy who got a hand on it, and Songa Polatele's already taking a leadership role. He's saying, let's go for it here.
I like it. That was a great job by Collins. Just beating Vadakani. You're going to see Cal staying on the field, going for it here on 4th down. I think this is a great decision by Wilcox. You have all the momentum at your back right now. 14-0 here in the first quarter. Play clock winding down.
Now they'll bring the back in the backfield on 4th down. Songa Polatele trying to get away. Stays on his feet. Can he square those shoulders? Delivers, and it's caught, but no. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Wow, Jacob DeJesus, that was almost a spectacular play, but incomplete, and the Beavers get the turnover on downs.
And that's exactly what Oregon State needed. You're going to see here on the replay, it is really close, but you can see his foot of DeJesus is out of bounds there.
Wow.
As that football comes in, and Oregon State ran a little stunt up front, looped the defensive end inside. And that's what got Jaron off his spot, forced him outside the pocket. Great coverage down the field. And now we'll see if Malik Murphy can get something going here on offense.
Maybe the most impressive play yet from the freshman quarterback, even though it turns into an incompletion. He made something out of nothing and almost converted. Instead, the Beavers get a much-needed turnover on downs. Hankerson to carry, and Cal right there in the backfield again. T.J. Bush, one of the newcomers up front, with a tackle for loss.
The transfer for Liberty just came untouched. Nobody even got a hand on him. I understand he's the backside defensive end, but there was no hesitation from Bush. getting in there and getting Hankerson down for a loss.
Yeah, if you don't touch him, he's got a pretty good chance to catch up to that running back.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of the same old story with Oregon State. They brought back great offensive line coach Mike Cavanaugh to really help out this offensive line, and just there on first down, you can't be going backwards. It's such a drive killer. It's so hard to overcome, and here you sit in 2nd and 12.
Murphy, the quarterback, running an option, will pitch it, and Hankerson ball's on the turf. He secured it, but he's going backwards again. And then some sloppy plays here for the Oregon State offense early in this game.
Yeah, and you hear the fans getting upset here at Reser Stadium. Just miscues from the get-go. You have the penalty on the first series on your defensive unit, and then you drop the snap on your first offensive series, and you just kind of keep shooting yourself in the foot, and here you are, 3rd and 14, and this is not where you want to be against the Justin Wilcox defense.
And even that play from the start, the spacing didn't look right. It just didn't look that comfortable. So another 3rd down and 3rd and long. 14 to go for Oregon State. They're going to hand the ball off. So pretty conservative. Hankerson broke a tackle but gets stopped well short of the first down. On the Beavers side of the field, I would imagine the punt team's coming out.
Well, there was a little hesitation, but here they come, and as much as you want to go for it if you're a Beaver fan, you just can't risk giving this field position to Cal. There's head coach Trent Bray. You can tell he's a little frustrated early on with how his team is executing. They need to find a way to settle into this football game, especially offensively, find some breather plays and get Murphy into a rhythm.
Final seconds of the first quarter ticking away. DeJesus back at the 15-yard line for Cal, the return man. And a beautiful high punt sends him all the way back to the 5, where he will have a little room. DeJesus, a very talented returner, on the right sideline and shoved out of bounds at about the 30. Maybe outkicked his coverage there. That will be the final play of quarter number 1, a quarter that was dominated by the Golden Bears.
Yeah, it's been all things Cal early on. There he is, the true freshman, Songu Polotele. He's been absolutely lights out since we began this game.
Coach Wilcox, your true freshman quarterback, is about to come out here once again. How impressed have you been with his start?
Yeah, he's doing what we thought he would do. You know, he's doing a heck of a job. He's a really composed guy. He's throwing the ball well. We had a couple opportunities there on that last drive to keep it going, but he's doing a fantastic job.
Thanks for this.
Yep.
Thank you, Stormy. Thanks to Justin Wilcox, Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Bonatoni. We start the second quarter here in Corvallis. So he's doing what we thought he would do. He just looks like the greatest quarterback who ever lived.
I agree with Coach. It's been fantastic. 9 of 11, $146, and 2 touchdowns. First quarter of college football.
Wow. Under center, handoff right side run, and a great run outside the 40 by Raphael, who's shown some burst here in his first game in a Bears uniform.
Boy, shifty, 5'11", 200 pounds, transfer from NC State. Just does a great job following his lead blockers on this counter play. Gets out in open space, and right now Cal has been able to do whatever they want on offense. Oregon State has to find a way to create some negative plays to get some momentum back into this football game.
Averaging 9 yards per play through a quarter, and 1 extra play here in the second. Songu Polotele across the middle, and the pass knocked down, intended for Grizel. It was tight coverage and good coverage by Patterson.
It's kind of the first time all game that JKS got a little bit greedy. He had his running back open to the flat, didn't want to take it right away, wanted to work that at second level. He's had such great protection by that offensive line, and the football is just slightly behind Tron Grizel.
So second down. That's 3 straight incompletions for the freshman. Handoff left side with the penalty flag. I think there was a hold in the backfield, plus there was basically no gain on the play.
Holding, number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
I always think that is a decision for a head coach. It would have been 3rd and 9. Do you decline the penalty and say, I trust my defense 3rd and 9, or move them back?
Yeah, that's Braden Miller right there on the outside at the tackle position. You're going to see he just gets his hands a little bit outside, and there's a slight tug right in front of the official, brings the defender to the ground. Easy call.
It's interesting that Braden Miller's playing on the left side instead of the right side, where we kind of assumed he was going to be the blindside protector for the lefty quarterback. Now a low snap, ball's on the turf, and Tsonga Politele has to fall on it to avoid the turnover. So for Cal, some sloppiness on this drive. It's third down and very long.
Yeah, and that's just a bad snap by Tyson Ruffins, who's making his first career start at center. He's a veteran player. He's made quite a few starts at guard coming over from Nevada, but this is his first game playing center. Just an errant snap, which forces a third and long here for the Cal Bears. And what an opportunity for Oregon State to get off the field.
A center who wasn't the center until a week ago. So not only has he never played center in a game, he wasn't the center for most of the practice sessions for the Bears. Now a penalty flag. Pass complete for a short gain to DeJesus, but there is a flag on the play. So if it's against Cal, it's going to be fourth down. The Cal offense is running off the field.
Pass interference. Offense, number 85. That penalty is declined. Going to the play, fourth down.
Well, there's a good series for the Oregon State defense.
Yeah, and that's all. That penalty's on Mason Minnie, the tight end. You're going to see him right here. He just gets his hands on the defender before the reception point. Can't do that if you're throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage. I get you're trying to run a little inside catch and carry, but Mason Minnie needs to wait till that ball's caught by DeJesus.
So fourth down and long. The Cal punt team, Honore, is on the field, and he'll hit kind of a low line drive style punt. And Walker, the return man, making a couple special teams would-be tacklers miss, but another flag on a punt play. Got a lot of penalties on special teams. Beavers are going to get the ball back, but maybe not with quite such good field position.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 14, return team. 10 yards from spot of foul. First down.
So been a lot of that for the Beavers in this first half of a new season here in Corvallis. The bell tower, beautiful on a late summer evening. All right, Matt, thanks. So Underwood, true freshman, starting his college debut for Cal. Jaron Keave Tsonga Politele starting his college debut. A lot of people know about Underwood. More people after tonight, I think, are going to know about JKS. Beavers handoff, and Hankerson with the best run play of this early season for Oregon State. That's Beavers' first down, gain 14.
It's a great job by the offensive line. You're going to see center Van Wells on a pull, and it's just a fantastic kick out here to get the play started. And this is what we thought we would expect. Great pull by 69 Jacob Strand. This is what we thought we would see out of the Oregon State Beavers. Mike Cavanaugh back as the offensive line coach. We thought we would see that physicality, fundamental type offensive line play. Great example there on first down.
Basically nothing went right for Oregon State in the first quarter. Malik Murphy making his Beavers debut, and a beautiful pass. Walker came back to get it, and into Cal territory. The biggest play of the night for Oregon State, gain of 30.
That's a great job of Trent Walker, just selling kind of the little slot swing. We'll go back to it after this play. Great execution by the Oregon State offense.
And Malik Murphy, look, this is a guy who has won games at a very high level. Started a couple games at Texas, won those. Led Duke to a 9-win season last year. Kind of got pushed out by the Blue Devils. He's here in Corvallis. And a huge upgrade at quarterback for Oregon State with Malik Murphy, a short gain on first down.
Yeah, I want to go back to the previous play. You're going to see motion by Zach Hart, and then watch how Trent Walker hesitates at the line of scrimmage, kind of sells like he's blocking it, and then releases up the seam. Just a fantastic job of executing Ryan Gunderson's play. And this is what Oregon State needed. They needed it in a bad way. It's been all things Cal early on in this football game. And Malik Murphy finally able to push the football down the field and get this Oregon State offense going.
Just managed to secure that catch. Trent Walker, who grew up coming to Beavers games as a little kid, was an Oregon State fan, came here as a walk-on, and he's having a big start to this year. Now a little misdirection play. David Wells, and Cal did not fall for that at all. On second down and medium, Beavers lose 4.
Yeah, that was a really good job of Cal staying home, being disciplined with their eyes. And there's been too much of that early on in this football game of this Oregon State offense going back. You're trying to get to 3rd and manageable, and now you find yourself here in 3rd and 11. I would say it's an obvious pass situation. You do have to think that they're potentially in 4-down territory here. So if you can get half this back, so you got to think maybe screen, draw, something that's a guaranteed completion to make it more manageable on 4th.
Cal showing some pressure. We'll see if they actually bring pressure. They rush 4. Murphy, that pass incomplete. Sailed it high over the head of Wells, his intended target, and now it's 4th and 11. And Oregon State is sending the special teams unit on the field, which is kind of interesting. They're going to give Caleb Ojeda a chance for a pretty long field goal try.
It's going to be about a 54-yard field goal. We were told this is about his max, maybe 55.
You come back in November, you might not be trying this, but it's a beautiful night to kick. Not much wind, very warm. Kick is up, and it looks good, and it is good. How about that?
Drilled it.
Caleb Ojeda right about at his maximum distance and perfect on his first try of the year.
Great kick by Ojeda, 54 yards right down the middle. Oregon State answering the call. 14-3 when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah, last year for the Cal Bears football team, I think a really disappointing season overall. Why was that? Well, they won 6 games, 6 and 7 first year as a part of the ACC. 4 losses by a total of 9 points. That doesn't even really tell the story. Agonizing losses. Then you get 4 defensive starters drafted in the NFL. It was a really talented Cal defense last year. So they lost talent to the draft. They lost a huge number of players to the portal. 37 players transferred out, even without a change at head coach, including their starting quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, who had come to sort of embody the whole program. And yet Justin Wilcox and company feeling pretty confident coming into this year, but I think feeling like they need to get over that hump.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there was a lot of doom and gloom when you saw those 37 transfers leave Cal, but 55 newcomers come in, and you get Sangu Politele. Now all of a sudden there's reason for optimism with the Cal Bear program.
This will be interesting to watch here because the 18-year-old kid who set all those records in Hawaii, whose role models were Dylan Gabriel and Marcus Mariota, and came to Cal with such accolades. A brilliant start, but the Beavers defense has kind of settled in.
Yeah, I think both teams have settled in, and that last drive you saw it. Oregon State got the upper hand. They got Cal kind of knocked off on 1st and 2nd down. They created a 3rd and extra long. Be interesting here to see how Brian Harsin comes out here on this opening drive for the Cal Bears.
Play fake, and Sangu Politele slings it out to Tron Grizel with a blocker out in front. That was a good effort by that Oregon State defensive back to come up and make the tackle.
Yeah, and Sangu Politele, he's just in control right now. He's seeing the field. I am so impressed for a kid that's 18 years old, making his first career start. The way he's seeing the field, scanning around, getting the football out of his hands quick, making good decisions.
Completes this one out in the right flat and a cut upfield for a Cal first down. That is Jacob DeJesus, that slot wide receiver who's not a big guy, was a very productive player to UNLV last year.
Yeah, he tore up the Mountain West the last couple seasons at UNLV. Got a little help from his buddy Tron Grizel there on the outside with a great block. But DeJesus, he's somebody that the coaches were ranting and raving about this week, and really excited to see him play tonight.
Oregon State taking their time on the defensive substitutions. When Cal substitutes, they are not hustling off the field in a lot of instances. DeJesus in motion on 1st and 10. Sangu Politele, that one goes backwards. So the pass completed to Raphael, but what a play by Nico Taylor.
It's a beautiful play by Nico Taylor. He's at his defensive end position and just completely reads what's going on. Look at the left side of your screen, number 25. He started out as a defensive end, and he saw that swing screen coming from a mile away and blew the play up.
Yeah, Jeffrey Johnson, who's a good blocking tight end, got knocked backwards. So 2nd down and 15 for Cal.
Cal just has to try to get half back here to make it 3rd and manageable.
Pressure picked up from the outside across the middle, and that's better than third and manageable. That's a first down into Oregon State territory.
Well, and there's Jeffrey Johnson, the tight end you were just talking about, more known to be a blocker, but does a phenomenal job on the over route. You're going to see him left to right on your screen. And once again, Sangapolo Tele recognizing the safety blitz. That's exactly where the football needs to go.
Another delivery just perfectly in stride for a guy who doesn't catch a lot of passes. Now Raphael nowhere to go on the first down run. Well, if you were watching LSU Clemson, great game, dramatic game, and you flipped over to this one, you missed the dramatic start to Jaron Keave Sangapolo Tele's career. This is a guy, one of the biggest recruits to join Cal's program in a long time. Actually officially started his career at Oregon. Came back to Berkeley starting as an 18-year-old. Those were the numbers on his first 2 drives. 6 for 6, 2 touchdowns, 125 yards. Now penalty flags thrown.
False start. Number 77. Offense.
And I would say, Brock,
penalty.
I mean, you've been out there as a young player, as a quarterback. There hasn't been much of that for Cal. They've been pretty organized at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they really have. They've done a good job. There you go, left tackle Braden Miller. He started the game at right tackle, but Nick Morrow got hurt at left, so he's now over there on the left-hand side. But you're right, Flem. I have been in this position as a true freshman, making a start on the road. And I tell you what, it did not go as well as this. I am so impressed with the poise and composure of Sangapolo Tele. He has just been absolutely impressive tonight from the get-go.
I think those are 2 good words. Just sort of jumps out. Watching him out there. Steps up and throws that one along the sideline, and that is incomplete. The pass was actually caught, but I guess Grizel had a foot out of bounds.
You know, Fleming, what people don't realize, there is so much to digest coming from the high school ranks to the college ranks, the playbook, the checks at the line of scrimmage, everything that you need to handle, and this kid has done it with ease.
Facing a 3rd and long here, right in midfield.
Now this is where Sangapolo Tele is going to be tested. Can he be patient? Don't force it. You're starting to lose the momentum of the football game. It's okay to reserve the right to punt and pin Oregon State back.
That was DeJesus in motion. Pressure comes. He gets hit as he throws over the middle and knocked away. Intended for Mark Hamper, who had a step, and the pass looked like it was right there. And at the last minute, Jaleel Tucker came in and knocked it away.
I mean, what a great play by Tucker, but I tell you what, that looks more like a drop than anything to me. And once again, Sangapolo Tele is putting it right on the money for Hamper.
Ooh.
I get it. It's a tough catch. You slightly have to adjust. But under pressure, under duress, you know, I say, hey, don't force it. But once again, there's a throw to be had. JKS sees it, lets it go. That's one that Hamper needs to bring in for his young quarterback.
I think you're right. I mean, I'll still give Tucker credit for helping out, but that was right there. So now Cal will punt. End over end punt and a fair catch signal at the 10-yard line. With under 6 minutes to go in the first half, Oregon State kind of a disastrous start. They've settled in. They get the ball back down 14-3. Under 6 minutes to go until halftime here in Corvallis. Season opener for Cal and Oregon State, longtime conference rivals who might be playing for the last time for a long while. 14-3 Cal has the lead. Oregon State did not start the game well. They've played much better since the early minutes. They get the ball back, and their head coach Trent Bray starting his second year in charge of this Oregon State program. A guy who played at a very high level, cares a lot about this program, was a great linebacker here in his college playing career.
Two-time All-Pac-10 performer.
Murphy hands off and Hankerson straight ahead run out across the 15 for a nice gain on first down. He was a really good player. Clock stopped and Cal player's helmet came off, so he's got to come off the field. There's Trent Bray. He looked the part, didn't he?
Team captain there. You see 2005 Pac-12 first team Insight Bowl MVP in 2005. And talking to him, you know, he took over the defensive play calling duties because he said, listen, I want to be a hands-on coach. I want to get back out there. I'm not the CEO type. I don't want to sit back and manage. I want to get out there and get dirty with my guys.
Murphy play fake, and that was not Murphy. That was Johnson, the second quarterback, who's got some wheels. in for that play. Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, just to add on what you guys were talking about with Trent Bray, he was very clearly not a fan of not coaching, but he said his first year as a head coach, he didn't know what the job would really entail. He didn't want to try to do too much because if he couldn't pour everything into the defense, he would be doing it a disservice. But talking to a couple of players, boy, has it been impactful that he has been back on that side.
Yeah, and to be clear, he was the head coach. He was doing some coaching, but those are the words that he used. And I think for him, just kind of managing the program was not nearly enough. He wanted to be the defensive play caller.
Yeah, and to Stormy's point, even more than being the defensive coordinator, he wanted to coach the linebackers again. He wanted to get back out there and get his hands on those guys. And when you talk to them, and that guy right there, Malik Murphy, who's on the sideline, you know, he said, listen, he's a player's coach. He brings energy, and we want to play hard for him.
And this is interesting that Malik Murphy is not in the game. I mean, he's got his helmet on. He's not being attended to by the trainers. Johnson's just out there.
We know Johnson's a great athlete.
Little fake pitch, and he gets tripped up and stumbles forward for a gain of maybe a yard.
You got to think Ryan Gunderson is just trying to find some sort of, you know, momentum shift and get the run game going a bit. Here comes Malik Murphy for third down.
And you understand, like, special packages for a player who's got a certain skill set, but this is the first half of Malik Murphy's Oregon State career and trying to build a little momentum as an offense.
Well, and not only that, just get comfortable in this system. He came from a spread, you know, somewhat air raid system to this is more of a pro style. You call multiple plays in the huddle. That takes time to get used to. So to pull him off the field, those are precious reps.
Oregon State has not converted a third down yet tonight. And that pass is incomplete. Tried to hit his running back Hankerson out of the backfield, and that really wasn't close. So it's fourth down. And Beavers have to punt again.
Yeah, this offense is just sputtering right now. Oregon State, they just can't get it going. And once again, we just talked about, I don't think it helps it when you take your starting quarterback off the field. He's trying to find some feels. Nowhere to go with the football there, and Oregon State's out there on the field to punt the football.
So 4th and 5 with under 4 minutes to go until halftime. Dangerous return man DeJesus. Chance for Cal to get some decent field position. That punt trying to angle it, and a late fair catch signal at about the 36-yard line. This week's college football rankings brought to you by Verbo, and there will be some changes in the college football rankings.
There really will. What a game we had earlier today with Texas Ohio State. Ohio State getting the big win at home. You see LSU going into Death Valley, taking down Clemson. The Alabama at Florida State game, that was fascinating. Alabama's definitely going to fall back from 8. So, you know, as people have said before, why do we even do preseason rankings? We don't know. You got to go out there and play the game. But boy, what a great week 1 it's been.
14-3 Cal. Touchdowns on their first 2 drives. 3 straight empty possessions since then. Sangapolatele will dump that one short and actually complete it for maybe a loss of a half yard to Mason Minnie.
And that's just a freshman mistake. Just bury that ball in the ground. I know you want to try to get that completion, but you don't want to lose precious field position there. That was a great job by the Oregon State secondary. Just some blanket coverage, nowhere to go with the football down the field.
Even though the receiver gets pushed out of bounds, that clock starts to roll again, which I don't think Cal would love to take this ball all the way down to the end of the half and get some points.
Yeah, Cal's going to take their time. They're going to try to bleed as much clock as they can because they know Oregon State gets the football to start the second half.
Play clock starting to wind down. They get it snapped no problem and completed out to Grizel left sideline at about the 40, where it'll be third down at 7.
Boy, it's something so small and it's hard to notice, but you know, JKR, he's just doing a fantastic job, JKS, excuse me, of feeling pressure when Oregon State brings it, slides away from him, gets a quick completion. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but for an 18-year-old kid making his first career start, he's done a great job of feeling and seeing the defense tonight.
2.5 minutes to go until halftime. And now Oregon State, a coach running out on the field to signal timeout. So the Beavers want to be more organized for a third down play.
Of the half. 30-second timeout.
Trent Bray not real happy with the way they were set up for that play. By the way, Sunday Night Baseball. So here we are late Saturday night out west. Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow night. The series finale between Matt Olson and the Atlanta Braves and those Philadelphia Phillies. How many home runs will Kyle Schwarber hit tomorrow night? He hit 4 in a game earlier this week. That's pretty good.
Why not make it 5?
Never been done. If anybody could do it, it might be him. 7 Eastern tomorrow, Sunday Night Baseball. Well, 14-3 Cal, those 2 spectacular touchdown drives to start the game.
Yeah, and this is big time for Oregon State right here. If they can find a way to get a stop, get the football back, find some points. Once again, Oregon State, they get the ball to start the second half. We just saw Trent Gray. I would assume he's going to dial something up here to try to create some confusion for the true freshman quarterback.
Brandon High, the running back in the backfield, along with Songa Polatele. And the lefty takes the shotgun snap, throws. That one is knocked away. That one had a chance to be caught by DeJesus. And in the end, pulled out onto the turf. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Well, that's one thing. JKS, he just keeps giving his wide receivers a chance to make plays. Throwing into double coverage, but only putting that football where his guy can make a play. You see DeJesus coming back here on the back shoulder. Had a chance, but that was great coverage down the field by safety Skylar Thomas.
So it's 4th down and 7. Clock stops on the incompletion. And a high, short punt. Walker comes way up and signals fair catch outside the 25-yard line. Oregon State's got a shot here with 2:09 on the clock, plus that 2-minute timeout to make something happen.
Yeah, and this is exactly what the Beavers needed. As lopsided as this game has felt, if they can drive this football down and score a touchdown here and go into half down just 4 points at 14-10, you can go hit the reset button in the locker room at halftime, come back out here and get the football to start the second half.
That is an important point. They deferred after winning the toss, so they get the ball to start the second half. They have 2 timeouts plus that 2-minute timeout.
I'd love to see Ryan Gunderson just dial up a guaranteed breather play from Malik Murphy here.
Does that count?
Perfect.
Walker cuts it upfield, gets tripped up at about the 35, but a nice gain of 8, almost 9 yards.
Beautiful play call. Just get your quarterback back in rhythm. I know you hit the 2-minute timeout, but great start to the drive.
14-3 Cal. Beavers on the move. 2 minutes to go in the first half in Corvallis. We were using it last night. We had some multi-view going. Coming up on our Lexus halftime report, take you all around the world of college football in this first full Saturday of action. What a win for LSU. Florida State's incredible win against Alabama, and much more coming up on our Lexus halftime report. 2 minutes to go until halftime. Handoff Oregon State, and a loss on 2nd and a yard. Saladin Allah, the second running back, got tripped up, so the clock moves and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, there's Uluave once again. We said earlier in this ball game, if you don't get hands on Uluave, he's going to make you pay. Coming from his linebacker position, just shoots a gap. And here at Oregon State, they're in a tough position. Clock's running. You don't want to burn a timeout now, but you got to get this first down.
You're trying to get organized for a play that could ruin your drive if you don't convert, but now seconds are just bleeding away. This is taking way too long.
Yeah, you got to snap the football here.
Murphy hands it off straight ahead, and that will be just enough to get a first down and momentarily stop the clock.
Now get on the ball, call a play, and be ready to snap this football so you don't have to burn a timeout here.
That took a lot of time just to get those 2.5 yards.
Plenty of time, little over a minute, 2 timeouts.
And a kicker who's shown a good leg. The field goal for the Beavers' only point so far was from 50 plus. Nice move upfield by David Wells, and that's a gain of 9.
It's a great job by Wells on the tunnel screen, just finding a little crease and getting vertical. If I'm Oregon State, I got to play with a little more tempo here now that we're under a minute.
Yeah, still taking those precious seconds off the clock. That pass over to the left side, and Trent Walker's having a nice first half. Gets the first down into Cal territory.
Yeah, there's a little rhythm in the 2-minute drive. Great job by Malik Murphy recognizing off coverage to the field with Trent Walker. Take it, pick up a fresh set of downs, stop the clock. Oregon State's in a really good position here.
Yeah, the officials want to talk about something.
It's good to see Trent Walker get the football. 81 catches a season ago.
That's a lot of catches.
A lot of catches, a little over 900 yards. He's someone that Malik Murphy needs to find a little bit more as this game goes along. Get him in a rhythm.
Proud tradition of former walk-ons in this program turning into big-time players, and he's another one of them. Murphy, meanwhile, just waiting for word as to what's going on.
The chains were not set prior to the snapping the ball. The ball should have been 1st and 10 at the 48. The play counts. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line. Clock will start on my signal.
Well, that's a bad break for Oregon State.
Well, and they need to get on the ball because the official's going to blow. Clock's winding right now. You got to get on the ball and snap the football.
Yeah. And now what? Have we stopped it again? So
please put 50 seconds on the clock.
All right, reset it to 50, and then we're going to do what Gary Patterson said we were going to do. It's not Oregon State's fault that they thought they had a first down. Instead, it turns out it's 2nd down now. And now the clock will wind from 50. Maybe. Now penalty flag's thrown. And they're going to call Cal for offsides.
Delay of game. Defense. Disconcerting signals. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Okay, so that shift was illegal for Cal.
Now you got to wonder if something was said. I know a defense, you can't hand clap. Oh, it's just there was a quick, abrupt movement up front. We'll go back and show you as soon as we can. As a defensive front, you cannot try to draw the offense offsides. Anything that looks like the start of a play, they're going to flag.
So now Oregon State very close to field goal range. Play fake for Murphy and a little screen pass caught in traffic. The ball comes out. The ball was on the turf after a big hit. And the officials haven't made a signal yet. Cal thinks they have it, and they do.
Ruling on the field.
So the Beavers move it into scoring range, but a turnover, and Ryan McCullough is the guy who came away with the football.
What a hit by Paco Austin, the transfer corner coming over from UCF. He's the one that lays the wood on Caulfield.
Please reset the clock.
You see him from the right side of your screen right there, number 4. Excellent job of popping that football out. What heartbreak for Oregon State.
Yeah, no kidding. The most positive drive really of the whole game. Uluave got him up in the air, and Austin's the guy who jarred it loose. So now Cal with a true freshman. You wonder whether they're going to be aggressive here, but the Bears defense comes up with a big play. They're lining up like they want points.
I mean, 42 seconds. You still have 2 timeouts. Why not? Play smart here. But if there's an opportunity, push the football down the field.
Play fake. And a step up by the young quarterback who's going to run with a lot of room to run. Across midfield, still going. And inside the 40 for a big gain on the ground. 31 seconds to go in this first half. And now getting to the line quickly. That was a 27-yard run.
That's such great recognition by Jaron. Oregon State's in man coverage. I'm not sure why Cal's not taking a timeout here. They have 2 timeouts at their disposal. They're letting precious seconds just waste away.
Yeah, that was not very good clock management. Down the left sideline, incomplete. Good coverage there. Deion Gray's the intended target. Tucker with the coverage, and the clock is all the way down to 12.
Yeah, I just assumed when Justin Wilcox didn't burn a timeout after the long run, they were going to get on the football and be ready to snap it or at least spike it. They didn't do either. And precious seconds wasted away.
I mean, that between getting lined up and then the end of the play, that was what, like 17 seconds, something like that?
Now, Cal is on the cusp of field goal range. 37-yard line's the target.
With 12 seconds to go in the first half after their defense came up with the turnover. Songa Politele in the pocket, throws, and that one is caught. And now they got to use a timeout. They will very quickly. Justin Wilcox right there next to the official. And they finally stopped the clock with
second charge timeout.
the clock just kept moving in the stadium, but I think they blew the whistle at about 5 seconds, which might mean a field goal try coming no matter what.
What an impressive job by the freshman there, Jaron. Just a little over 40 seconds. Recognizes man coverage on first down. No one's in the middle. No eyes on the quarterback. Takes advantage of that. Gets a big scramble down the field. and then one completion later gets his team into field goal range. He's played nearly a flawless first half.
So they put the clock at 6 seconds. I think you got to kick it, don't you? They have two kickers. Cal's had kicking issues for years. They have two kickers who both have a chance to make some attempts this year. Chase Myers is kind of the shorter kicker. Abram Murray, a transfer from Miami, the longer kicker. They've got the offense coming on the field.
Listen, if you get off coverage and you can catch this football and throw it right away, you have time to run one quick, maybe like a quick out, but you're seeing press by the corners with Oregon State. I don't really understand this decision here. You're already in field goal range. What do you gain by going for it here?
They got to get rid of it. They go down the sideline and it's incomplete, and I don't know. The clock went to 0.
I think there should be a second. That ball was down. You see Trent Bray, he's arguing different.
The official's making an announcement. We couldn't hear his microphone, but I think he is putting 1 second on the clock. Yeah. Man, that was close.
And that was close. And you don't want to put a true freshman quarterback into that situation. You should never be there. Justin Wilcox knows this. There's 6 seconds on the clock. You're in field goal range. What do you gain by that? So Jaron needed to know that football either comes out right after the snap or you throw it out of bounds. That was very risky for the Cal Bears.
Abram Murray is the guy from 49. First field goal try of the year for Cal. And now whistles, and ball got snapped, but Oregon State uses a timeout. You can only do that once in college football.
Timeout.
No more back-to-back timeouts.
That's their second charge timeout of the half.
So give Murray a chance to think about it a little bit. By the way, I know this is late night Saturday night. That does not mean the college football weekend is over. Far from it. Tomorrow, Sunday, we got two really interesting games. Aflac kickoff game, South Carolina, number 13 in the country against Virginia Tech, with lots of side stories in that game. And then how about Notre Dame and Miami Sunday night, 7:30 Eastern, ABC tomorrow. And then Monday we finish it all off with Bill Belichick's debut at North Carolina.
I just see great quarterback play all over this. Lenora Sellers, Carson Beck, Josh Hoover. This is going to be a really fun lineup. Fighting Irish going down to Fort Lauderdale, playing Miami in the heat.
All right, so now Cal will attempt a field goal on what should be the final play of this first half. Kind of a high snap kick on the way, and that kick is good. It's a whole new year for the Golden Bears. Field goal, 49 yards, no problem.
Beautiful baby draw by Murray right through the uprights. Fantastic execution in the 2-minute drill by the true freshman quarterback, Sangu Polotele.
That is impressive. They got the turnover with under a minute to go on their own side of the field and trusted the young quarterback to get points on the board. The Oregon State head coach is with Stormy.
Coach Bray, what in your mind has disrupted the rhythm of your offense here in the first half?
There's nothing. We never started with the rhythm, so there was no disrupting. We got to just calm down and play. We're trying to do too much and stressing. There's no need to.
Well, defensively, it seems like you did play settled in after those first 2 drives. What changed?
I think guys just calm down. I mean, we force them to 3 and out the first drive, and then coaches, we're dumb and we get a penalty, and it extends their drive. And then they come back and play well.
Thanks for this.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Stormy, and thanks to Trent Bray as the Beavers go into the halftime locker room trying to regroup after a first half that was mostly controlled by the Golden Bears. We've hit the half, 17-3 the score. Matt, Joey, and EJ after this short break. And welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Old Spice. It's kickoff week, presented by Modelo from Corvallis, Oregon. An old-time rivalry, not conference rivals any longer, but Cal and Oregon State playing their openers. The Golden Bears have a 17-3 lead. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler back here with you, and glad you're staying up late night with us. We can't call it Pac-12 After Dark anymore. That's too bad, but
sure feels like it.
It does feel like it. And gosh, speaking of feeling, Cal fans have to just be thrilled. Sangu Polotele, what a debut.
Jaron's been fantastic. Start of the game, no butterflies, no nerves. It was unbelievable the poise he came out and played with early on. His first 2 series in college football, resulted in 2 touchdown passes. He's been outstanding. He's been lights out since the get-go, and that was really the only question. We knew the arm talent he had. We knew the intangibles he brought to the table, but how would he handle this first start on the road? He's been absolutely perfect and completely aced the test.
Including that drive at the end of the half where they had 40 seconds to work with and marched him down the field and got in position and kicked a field goal. Just super impressive by the young quarterback, and the Bears have a 17-3 lead. Oregon State will get the ball to start the second half as the kickoff goes into the end zone, and Beavers are going to return it from deep in the end zone and out close to where it would have been for a touchback. And no flag at the end of that play. Our protection spotlight is presented by Prudential, and Brock, the young QB, didn't do it all by himself.
No, he certainly didn't. His big fella's up front. That offensive line for Cal, they've been outstanding tonight. A unit that a year ago gave up 51 sacks, they haven't let their quarterback been touched yet. He's had all the time in the world to deliver throws. You saw on that last play. And here's his second touchdown pass of the night. Not a single Oregon State Beaver defensive lineman around JKS, and I tell you what, that offensive line, they've been mightily impressive. We'll see if they can keep it up here in the second half.
And that was Justin Wilcox, the head coach's point coming into this week, was we love the 18-year-old. He's so talented. We have huge expectations, but it can't be all about him. He needs help from everybody, and I think the Bears did a good job of delivering that help in the first half. Handoff for the Beavers on first down as we start the second half for a short gain. Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, and Dave, to your guys' point about the help for Jaron Sangapouletele, Justin Wilcox told me at the half he wants his guys to be able to do a little bit more in the run game to support him. When Jaron throws a long ball, have some players make some contested catches for him. And defensively, as we see that group out here first, he said, for as good as I might have thought they played, he really did not like the tackling effort, and so that's a big key for his defense moving forward.
All right, so we'll focus on that. Good points, Stormy. Good info as the pass is incomplete. They got some pressure on Malik Murphy and got a hit on the QB.
Yeah, and Stormy brings up such a good point. Early season tackling, you always wonder how it's going to go early on. So I hear what Justin Wilcox is saying there, but great job by his defense forcing an incomplete pass and getting into a third and obvious passing situation. This is not where Oregon State wants to be. Trent Bray said, listen, I want my offense to calm down and play football. Coming out struggling right now.
The other thing from Stormy's report, the numbers for Sangapouletele could have been even more impressive with some extra plays from that receiving core. There were some plays left out there for Cal.
Couple drops, big plays down the field.
Third and long. Murphy steps up and the pocket collapses, and Cal is going to sack the Oregon State quarterback. So the Bears defense starts the second half by forcing an immediate punt. I think Jaden Wayne was one of those Cal defenders in there. McCullough was in the mix.
Yeah, that's what you call a sack party right there. I think that was all 4 guys up front for the Cal Bears. You're going to see everyone on that replay just get such a great push from all the positions. Just that Oregon State offensive line going backwards. Nowhere for Malik Murphy to step up into the pocket and deliver a throw. And if you're an Oregon State fan, that is definitely what you did not want to see coming out of halftime.
Cal defenders, who's bringing the chips and dip to the sack party? That was a group effort there. A low punt. DeJesus will not signal fair catch, and he's got some room across midfield. Man, you can see why they love him so much as a return man. DeJesus puts Cal in terrific shape to start the second half. Jaron Sangapouletele, 18 years old, number 14 rated pocket passer. I think by the end of it all, most people thought he should be ranked even higher than that. The all-time Hawaii State passing record for a career. And think about the recent history of great quarterbacks, Mariota and Gabriel and Tua and all of them. Only the second true freshman to start a season opener in the long history of Cal football. And the company on that list is pretty good. Jared Goff, who's one of their all-time greats. Handoff for the Bears on the first play of the second half to Brandon High.
Well, if the expectations weren't already high enough for the youngster coming into this football game, just with the way he's played in the first half, now the expectations have gone sky high. And for the Cal Bears to land this quarterback, I mean, there was some of the blue bloods across this country. A lot of the blue bloods really wanted his services, but for him to pick Cal says a lot about what he thinks about Justin Wilcox in this program.
Second down and 8 for the Cal offense immediately in Oregon State territory. The ball's at the 39-yard line. Back to pass. Over the top. And that one is perfectly delivered and caught inside the 5. Man, another great pass and catch. This time Mark Hamper was able to hang on. Now he is down out of bounds and hurting a little bit.
Injured player, California.
But a 35-yard gain down the field.
Just an unbelievable throw once again by Sangapolatele. Just phenomenal. Mark Hamper on a basically like a slot fade. And this is what JKS has done all night. He recognizes the man-to-man situations, and he puts the football with just strike point accuracy. Look where that ball ends up. It's on the back shoulder of Hamper. It's the only place that his wide receiver can make a play on the ball. There's 2 Oregon State defenders in the area, but there's no defense for the perfect throw.
Now a sort of a gadget play with Devin Brown, not Sangapolatele in there. And that was not executed to perfection. Back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
So this is going to be a big test for the Cal offense. This is an area of the field they really struggled in a season ago. They scored touchdowns on only 50% of their red zone drives. Are they able to finish this drive with 6 points rather than 3?
And maybe to your point, willing to be a little creative. They tried to package with the Ohio State transfer Devin Brown. Didn't work. So now JKS, the freshman, back in there under center on 2nd and goal. Play fake. And he's going to throw over the top. He's got his man wide open. Landon Morris, touchdown, Cal.
Great play design by Brian Harsin. You get a good, hard play-action fake by the quarterback. It gets just the defender's eyes into the backfield for just a second, and that's what allows Landon Morris to sneak out to the flat. Great execution by the Cal Bears in the red zone to come away with a touchdown.
It's one game, and we're going to have to pump the brakes on maybe some of the hyperbole that could come out of at least my mouth, but feels like a star in college football is being born here tonight. Extra point is up and good. It's 24-3 Cal, and their young quarterback has just been terrific.
Sangapolatele with his 3rd touchdown of the night. It's been nearly perfect since the get-go. I believe a star has been born.
Hey, check it out. There's the Taco Bell Live Más Student Section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? They're trying their best on the sing-along here in Corvallis.
Little Miley Cyrus.
Meanwhile, on the field, Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, Stormy Bonatoni with you here. Late night in Corvallis. It's been all Cal and their terrifically talented young quarterback. Oregon State will get the ball back and returning this kick. And it's not going to be great starting field position for the Beavers around the 16-yard line. It's a big story here, but elsewhere across college football, JKS doing his thing. Bear Bachmeier, nice debut for a young kid, a BYU program. Bryce Underwood. How about Malik Washington? He looked really good for Maryland.
All true freshmen. Unbelievable. These kids just coming out of the high school ranks. They're stepping onto the college scene, and they're ready to go. It's so impressive the days that all 3 of these guys have had. I tip my cap to them. It's not easy to do, especially in your first career start.
All 4 of those programs. I mean, I put Cal in. There's pressure on Cal to win games this year and have a better season in Justin Wilcox's 9th year. All 4 of those programs, they're not rebuilding. They are in win now mode. Murphy takes a huge hit as he delivers the pass, and it's incomplete, intended for Wells. Man, did he get popped by Uluave and McCullough.
Yeah, that was a massive hit by Uluave coming from the 2nd level. You see on the left side of your screen, that's a big hit on Murphy.
Ooh.
Great job of keeping his eyes down the field, though, standing fearless.
Almost got it there anyway. Paco Austin is down on the field. Almost looks like he was signaling cramp issue. The senior from San Bernardino, so back in the state of California. And he'll get up and walk off the field. We're going to cap off this great Labor Day weekend college football lineup on Monday night. TCU at North Carolina. Bill Belichick making his Tar Heels debut. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern and also available streaming on the all-new ESPN app. And just the fascination, maybe the all-time greatest NFL coach. How's he going to do his first time in college football?
I know I can't wait to see. I played against him a number of times. It's usually not very fun. So I can't wait to see what he does in the college ranks and if he can get that Tar Heel program going.
Second down for Oregon State. Murphy out to the right flat and a short completion.
So this is obviously a very pivotal drive for the Beavers. I'd be curious to see. Oregon State needs to get the first down of the series. If they can get a first down here, I would love to see them play with some tempo, almost like a 2-minute drill type scenario. That's the type of offense Malik Murphy's used to playing in. It's what he played in last season at Duke. It was a no-huddle type system, play at the line of scrimmage. You know, you see right now what Oregon State's doing. It's pro style. Let's huddle, multiple formations. He's got a lot on his plate. I need to see Ryan Gunderson get his quarterback into a rhythm here. It's kind of do or die for the Beavers.
And by the way, he had a lot of success at Duke last year. They won 9 games. He threw 26 touchdown passes. On third down, Murphy, little pump fake, and then delivers for a first down right across the middle to his security blanket, Trent Walker.
Boy, that was a great job hanging in the pocket. Uluave blitz from the second level. Hankerson did his best to hang in there, the running back, and give him a block. Look right in the middle of your screen. Great job by Hankerson, dying a slow death. Murphy keeps his eyes down the field, gets the ball out, and that's desperately what the Beavers needed. I would like to see them stay at the line of scrimmage, though, and start playing with some tempo. That's where Malik Murphy's most comfortable.
Not doing that here on 1st and 10. Almost like a pistol formation. He'll play fake. Murphy throws it short and completes that one to the running back who he faked the carry to. That's Hankerson with a catch. Uluave with another reception. To the point you asked Malik Murphy when we talked to him yesterday about the transition from the Duke system to the Oregon State system. He had an interesting answer.
Well, there was a big pause.
I took that as part of the answer.
There was a really big pause, and then there was a smile, and I understand it as a former quarterback. When you go from a no-huddle air raid system to huddling, calling multiple plays in the huddle, it's very difficult to make that adjustment.
Yeah, a true adjustment period he figures coming. Tough run for the senior captain, Anthony Hankerson. First down, Oregon State.
You know, and Malik Murphy, he's a very smart young man, so he's going to figure it out. He's going to get more comfortable as the season goes along. But early on, when you step into that huddle, and right now he's probably calling 2 plays. He's calling a run pass, and then when he gets to the line of scrimmage, he has to go through even more checks. Is the protection appropriate? What look is the defensive end? Do I need to check to a different run? There is a lot on Murphy's plate right now.
And most of those things last year he just didn't have to do.
Not at all.
1st and 10. He'll throw it short right again, and Hankerson with another catch right to midfield. So Oregon State moving the ball. They were on the move near the end of the first half, maybe their best drive of the first half, and turned it over, which led to a Cal field goal.
Yeah, and here's a little rhythm for Murphy. I'd really like to see him lean on Hankerson, who he just got the football to. Trent Walker, a season ago, 81 receptions. You got to rely on the guys that you have most trust in. They've been there before. They've shown they can do it. There's a good little rhythm for Oregon State right now.
There is a question about playmakers on this Beavers roster for sure.
You got Trent Walker at the bottom of your screen.
Wells came in motion to his side. On 2nd down, Murphy steps up, penalty flag thrown, and the pass is incomplete, and another flag. So there might be 2 different penalties on that play. Pass is in coverage intended for Malachi Durant. Durant's a guy they think has a chance to be a real good player.
Definitely defensive holding.
Okay, so there's one.
Yep, with Masses, number 5.
They're all setting fouls on the play. Illegal shift, offense, 2 men moving, not getting set. Holding, defense, with penalties offset. Replay 2nd down.
Yeah, that was David Wells, number 1. He's shifting out to his wide receiver position, and before he gets set, that's when Durant goes in motion. You have to be set for a second before that motion can take place.
Now the clock showing 1 second.
Please reset the game clock to 7 minutes, 40 seconds.
I mean, I knew we were moving along.
7 minutes, 40 seconds.
It's not that fast of a quarter. All of a sudden I look up and I see 1 second on the clock. No, 7:40 to go. So after all that, still 2nd and 7 for Oregon State. Murphy kind of backing up, but still the arm strength to put that throw right on the money. And Zach Card with a catch and run inside the 35.
It's a really good throw by Murphy, standing tall in the pocket. And that's just Card working a little stop route on the outside. There's soft coverage out there by Jair Smith. Murphy takes advantage of that. Great route by Card. Great pickup by Oregon State.
19-yard gain. It was a great move to pick up some extra yardage. We asked about Zach Card. He's got juice. Okay, good scouting report.
Hey, he does. He ran a beautiful route, got on the DB's toes, pushed him deep, and hit the brakes and came back to the football.
So Oregon State moving the ball here, down 24-3. There's still a long way to go in this game. Murphy rolling right and throws, and he's got his man Walker inside the 10 and inside the 5. Another great pass from Malik Murphy.
This is great play design by Ryan Gunderson. You're going to get a hard play action, which gets the linebackers to settle. But here's Trent Walker, and he's just going to kind of sneak up this seam. Watch off the play action, how the linebackers step up. They lose track of Trent Walker, and he's able to do the old sneaky route and get behind the defense for a big pickup for the Beavers.
He's got 7 catches, 122 yards tonight. Well, a good replay look of how that ball just got dropped perfectly in there. So 1st and goal. Murphy's going to go under center. Another thing he basically never did at Duke. Handoff, and Hankerson nowhere to go, and it's Uluave again. Man, can he play.
He's unbelievable. Guy plays with the hair on fire. His instincts are unbelievable. Uluave is right here. Watch him hit it. I mean, it takes him no time to diagnose what Oregon State's doing. Not fooled for a second. And once again, if you don't get hands on him at the line of scrimmage, he is going to wreck your football game.
7 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss. He's been everywhere. 2nd and goal, Oregon State. And I think pretty obviously with the score the way it is, they're not going to kick a field goal here. Murphy under center again. Handoff straight ahead and stopped at the 5. A push, though. The play's not blown dead. Good extra effort there, but it'll be 3rd and goal.
Murphy jogging over to the sideline, talking with coach. Such a pivotal 3rd and goal here. Need a touchdown in the worst way. You got to find your go-to guys in these moments. I'm either going to lean on Trent Walker, the wide receiver that's really starting to pick it up here in the 2nd half, or the big tight end number 8, Bryce Caulfield. I think he could be a mismatch for this defense.
You got Hankerson. You also have Jake Reichel as a fullback, H-back type on 3rd and goal. And another play under center. Murphy, play fake. End zone. And intercepted! Intercepted by the Bears! Massis down the right sideline, pointing out blockers. Inside the 30, got the extra block, and he's going to take it from one end zone to another. There is a penalty flag on the play, and it's all the way back in the other end zone.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5. Ball be spotted at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
Wow. So after all that, pass interference, not only negate the interception of the touchdown, 1st and goal, Oregon State.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good call. You're going to see the right and left hands right there draped around Walker. I think that's an easy call for the officials. Massis had his hands on him from the get-go. That slight tug. Obviously, the football was thrown behind, but you can't put your hands around a guy's hips.
I know why they called it. You watch the replay from that back angle, there wasn't a whole lot of contact.
Wasn't a big tug. The interception happened because of a poor throw, but I think there was enough contact with hands around the hips for the officials to throw the flag.
Well, that saves the chances for Oregon State in this game. First and goal from the 2.
Wildcat formation.
Hankerson, he'll take the direct snap, little stutter step, and push his way to the goal line. Touchdown. First of the year for Anthony Hankerson. First of the year for Oregon State. It's 24-9 with an extra point coming. I say extra point. They might not be kicking, though. Down 15. The Beavers are going to go for 2.
I don't know if I agree with this decision here. Extra point gets you within 2 scores. I don't know what Trent Bray is thinking here. I'd kick the extra point here and cut it down to a 2-possession game.
Just doesn't seem like the math gives you a whole lot of an advantage to get 2 right here, but they're going for 2. Murphy from the shotgun in the pocket toward the end zone, and it hits the back of the defender, and it's incomplete.
Well, and the other thing, you just lose momentum there. You just got yourself back in the game, kick the extra point.
Kind of a bummer way to end what is a touchdown that has helped get the Beavers back in this game. Hankerson powering it in. It's 24-9 Cal. Well, Oregon State scores a touchdown. They elected not to kick, so that meant Dylan Black, the long snapper, stayed on the sidelines. The fact that he's in uniform is really an amazing thing. This is an incredible young man. Dylan, who played 46 games over 4 seasons, and then 2 years ago was diagnosed with testicular cancer, May of 2024. 6 surgeries, 4 rounds of chemo, finally declared cancer-free in October. He knows the journey's not over, but it had been 2 seasons since he'd been on the field. He's on the field tonight. We congratulate him for that. Really just amazing young man. Has NFL aspirations. I mean, he's a really good long snapper. Has a chance to play at the next level.
No doubt. And what an inspiring, courageous young man, and just so great to see him back in uniform. You said it. He's got his sights set on the NFL, which is fantastic.
Kick return for the Bears outside the 30. Stormy, you talked to Dylan earlier this week, huh?
Yeah, and he got a little choked up talking about being back here on the field and just reflecting on his last 15 months, said how hard it was losing his hair, not being able to recognize himself in the mirror, the uncertainty of whether or not all those hours in the chemotherapy chair would even work, but said all the support really kept him going. Family, friends, teammates, and being at the facility was such an escape. He said a real bright spot for him was showing up at fall camp last year and seeing 40 or so of his teammates, all with their heads shaved.
Yeah, just a great gesture by his teammates who care about him a lot. LJ Johnson for Cal with the carry. So we're just happy that Dylan Black is healthy and he's back in uniform doing what he loves to do.
Absolutely. I saw it at a press conference this week. He said it's given him a better perspective on life. He's just grateful for the health he has. So great to see him back out there.
Meanwhile, Oregon State, his teammates with a touchdown to get themselves, I think, back in this game. Cal, though, has been very impressive on offense with their young freshman quarterback. Handoff and well defended. I tell you, Nico Taylor, defensive end, he's having a nice night for Oregon State.
Did a fantastic job winning on the edge with his hands. Great burst off the line of scrimmage, and then just gets the offensive line off of him. You're going to see him right here on the left side of your screen. Watch what he does with this quick move inside. Just a thing of beauty to set up a third medium. And this defense needs to get off the field and get the football back to Malik Murphy. Let's see if he can make another play here. He's at the bottom of your screen.
3rd down and 6 for Cal. And the pass complete, left flat, and a spin. Open field tackle is going to depend on the spot, and they spot him well short. So Mason Minnie a full yard short of that 1st down. That was a good tackle.
It's a fantastic tackle by Jaheim Patterson to force the 4th and short. Great open field tackle, and Cal's looking to the sideline right now like they're going to go for it.
Wow. Up 24-9 at their own 41-yard line. They're going for it. Maybe.
Yeah, this might be one of those deals where you try to draw the defense off sides, get a cheap 5, and if they don't jump, you take the delay of game.
They're snapping the ball. They're handing it off, and I think he got there. He kind of got lost, L.J. Johnson, in the scrum, but he got low and gets just enough for the first down. That was gutsy.
Very gutsy call by Justin Wilcox. You know, you just have to wonder, all those close losses they had early on in the season last year, if he's just like, I've seen enough of it. I'm in control of this game right now. I'm going to pick up a first down. I'm going to bleed more clock, and I don't want to punt this football back to Oregon State.
There are close losses, and then there are agonizing losses. Ball's on the ground. A mishandled snap there. Again, Tyson Ruffins has never been a center before in a game, has only practiced as the center for 1 week for the Bears, and there have been a few issues with the snaps.
Yeah, and then you also have a quarterback that's used to operating out of the shotgun, so you combine those two together, and they have not had thousands of reps, which is what it takes to get comfortable with the center going underneath center. Close call for the Bears there.
Songa Polatele did a good job to make sure he secured it. Second down and 12, empty backfield. Pressure picked up. Now he's going to turn the corner and duck out of bounds after getting the lost yardage back, plus maybe an extra 2 or 3.
Boy, good coverage down the field, but once again, this Cal offensive line, they've really turned it around since last year. Great protection for the young quarterback, nowhere to go with the football down the field. I love that the young quarterback doesn't force it, does the next best thing, tucks it, picks up some positive yards to bring up a 3rd and 7.
A lot of talk around the Cal program about their new strength and conditioning coach, getting that offensive line bigger, stronger. So new personnel. 3rd and 7 for the Bears.
Tron Grizel in the slot, man-to-man coverage.
DeJesus came in motion. Songa Polatele going down the middle deep, and it is caught. And then the ball comes out. Grays had it and tumbled over and lost the ball. So an incompletion, and it's 4th down.
Fantastic coverage by Trey Glasper, number 19. True freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada. Does a great job late in there. Like you said, Flem, it looked like Grays had that football, but at the last second, Glasper did a great job at getting a hand in there and popping that football out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that hand saved the day.
It's a big-time play for a true freshman.
That's what, the 3rd, maybe even the 4th long pass delivered almost perfectly that wasn't caught. And the Beavers defense gets some of the credit for that. This punt is going to bounce, and it will stay in the field of play. Yes, it will. I believe so. That's a touchback inside the 1. How about that special teams coverage? And a great punt on top of it. So the Bears special teams comes through in a major way. It'll be a tough spot for Oregon State when we come back. And some changes to the way the college football playoff is set up. We'll talk a lot about that as the season goes on. Meanwhile, here, what could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. And Malik Murphy just tried to push and give a little breathing room. The Beavers starting at their own 1-yard line. They're going to begin the 4th quarter at their own 3. Man, what a debut from Jaron Kiave, Songa Polatele, and the Cal offense. Trying to bounce back from a disappointing year and a great start, but still 15 minutes to play. These old rivals, Cal and Oregon State, 24-9 Golden Bears. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Old Spice from Corvallis, Oregon. Research Stadium, start of the 4th quarter, and Cal leads Oregon State 24-9. The Beavers, very tough field position to start the 4th quarter, deep in their own end, handed off to their captain, Anthony Hankerson, and he stopped short of a first down. So 3rd down coming up right away.
Such a critical 3rd down here. Now that we're in the 4th quarter, down 15 points, it's kind of go time for the Oregon State Beavers. Moments like this, I want to find my go-to guys that I know I can trust they're going to be in the right spot at the right time. Coming down at the bottom of your screen, number 7, Trent Walker. He's in the slot. 81 receptions a season ago. he's the guy I'm going to try to get the football to here.
Oregon State 2 of 8 on third down so far. Uluave showing some pressure up the middle. Murphy throws, and that one is a leaping catch, and he brought it down and got a foot in bounds. David Wells, heck of a catch.
Fantastic catch by Wells. Cam Sidney there in coverage does the best he can to recover and push that wide receiver out of bounds. Great job by Wells securing the football and getting a foot down in the field of play.
So that's a big first down for Oregon State. I'm kind of with you, though. Oregon State has been so deliberate on offense tonight. You might have to pick up the tempo a little bit at some point. Play fake, Murphy. That one's caught by Walker again. So another reception for Walker, who's having a huge game.
Yeah, and we're not saying pick up the tempo because you're running out of time. There's plenty of time to go win this football game if you're Oregon State. But I just feel like there's a comfort level with that with Malik Murphy. He's used to playing out of shotgun, a no huddle air raid system at Duke a season ago. At some point, I think you maybe just dial up your 2-minute package and get him flowing in the game a bit.
Murphy 15 for 22. He's thrown for 186 yards. The run games on both sides have been relatively quiet. Murphy changing the call under center on second down. Rolls right, dumps it short. That pass is caught by the tight end. An immediate tackle in the open field. Caulfield with the catch. First down, Oregon State.
It's a great open field tackle by Crosby. So Caulfield didn't get anything more than just the first down. And here Oregon State goes. I mean, they were just backed up on the inch-yard line, got some breathing room, picking up a couple first downs. It's great signs of life from this Oregon State offense.
Uluave always looks like he's playing sort of with a wry smile on his face.
He does. I think he just loves the game of football, loves running into guys.
Those are great close-up shots of Cade Uluave. Murphy, that one is intercepted. What a great play on the ball by Massis, who had the return called back for pass interference, and he gets tripped up at the 2. So he had one that he took all the way to the end zone that got called back. There's no flag on this play, and Zeke Massis comes up with the interception.
Yeah, that's a... You're going to see Massis at the top of your screen, and he's playing a deep third in a 3-deep zone. You're going to see a safety rotation here, and then you see Murphy. He's trying to throw a seam football. This is a ball you have to throw early, on time, and drive it. He's late. He's hitching in the pocket, and just that split second is the difference for Massis to be able to overlap that seam route and get that interception for the Cal Bears.
The FIU transfer, he's made a couple really nice plays. That's a heck of a pick.
It's a fantastic play. Just great instincts and feel for that outside corner Massis.
First and goal, and the handoff straight ahead with the push. Brandon High is in, touchdown. Took a one play after the 42-yard return after the interception. Brandon High pushes it in, and it's 30-9 Cal.
Gosh, that has to put a smile on Justin Wilcox's face. Your defense playing great. You get a turnover, run it back to the inside the 5-yard line, and then you punch it in. That's how you play complimentary football and put a nail in the coffin here tonight.
Extra point coming for Chase Meyer. Kick is up and good. Defense turns into offense for the Bears.
Malik Murphy trying to work a seam, throws the ball late. Massis is there to make him pay. And then a play later, the Cal Bears are able to pop it in the end zone with Brandon High Jr.
Well, this was right before we went to break. Malik Murphy, who Brock did a good job of breaking down the mistake on this throw, delivered it late. Excellent interception by the Bears DB, Zeke Massis. And that led to the touchdown. And Brock, this was afterwards. That's Danny Langsdorff, the special offensive assistant. And obviously, the quarterback here in Corvallis is frustrated.
Yeah, very frustrated, and rightfully so. Just from the get-go tonight, he just doesn't seem comfortable in this pro-style system. He's never played in before. It's different to him, and those struggles have shown tonight.
Let's go down to Stormy.
And that was the first time, I'll say, pretty much all game that I saw that kind of emotion on the sideline from Malik Murphy. Very frustrated, as you said, and that carried over to a lot of guys on the sideline. Bryce Caulfield threw his helmet down, guys punching their fist on the bench on the sideline. So we hadn't seen that type of emotional reaction really from anybody over here until now.
Well, the players, Stormy, just have to be so frustrated. When we talked to them in meetings yesterday, they all said, hey, we're going to treat every game this year like it's a championship game. So for them to be down 31-9 here, the frustrations have to be boiling over.
I think that's well said. I think it speaks to there is a raised expectation level this year, and so far Oregon State has not met that. That's a high degree difficulty throw to Reddix for an Oregon State first down.
It was a beautiful throw by Murphy. He had to layer it over the linebacker to get it outside to the sideline. And as Murphy's shown some great things tonight, he's also shown some struggles in this system. And now finally Oregon State's kind of picking up the tempo, getting into a 2-minute deal. He's a smart kid. He's going to figure it out. It's just going to take a couple games.
And off on first down. By the way, the tackle on that pass completion was Aiden Manutai, who is a true freshman from Hawaii. Cal's got 2 true freshmen started, both from the state of Hawaii. One at quarterback, one at a safety position. Aiden wears number 14. And it's a cool connection those two have. One was the offensive player of the year in Hawaii. One was the defensive player of the year in Hawaii in the high school ranks. Murphy scrambling, and he'll duck out of bounds.
And it was great when the local media around Berkeley asked Jaron this week. He said, who got the best of who in those games? And he kind of smiled and he said, Manutai got me. He intercepted me a couple times in high school. And he's a good player. I mean, he had offers from Oregon, Miami, Tennessee. So a huge get for the Cal Bears.
Yeah, they think he's got a chance to be a really good one. And it's a cool connection. They went head to head. Now they're teammates, obviously very close friends now. Walker with another catch and into Cal territory just short of a first down. Let's go back down to Stormy.
Well, and to follow up on that, Brock, Jaron actually told me Aiden still will not let him live it down. Any opportunity he has to bring up how many times he's picked Jaron, he's out there saying it. But Jaron did tell me he's very, very happy to have him on his side now instead of having to play against him.
Stormy, that is just a classic defensive back. They remember all the interceptions, but they forget all the touchdowns you throw over their heads.
Sounds like somebody who had a lot of those teammates over the years. An Oregon State player being helped off the field. That's Jacob Strand, their left tackle. So Josiah Timoteo, who's actually a cousin of the young Cal quarterback, Jaron Kiave Sangapola-Tele, but he plays for Oregon State. He's going to come in the game. And Strand, they don't want to lose him. He's one of their better players. He has earned that smile, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. And talking to his teammates, I don't think that smile ever leaves his face. It sounds like it's with him 24/7, and that's just the personality that he has, and it's why his teammates gravitate to him.
On second down is short. They'll push it forward and just get the first down. Inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line.
I mean, this is a good drive by Oregon State. If I'm them, I'm getting on the football. I'm calling a play as fast as I possibly can. You have Cal on their heels. There's still 10 minutes to go in this ball game. Got to push this tempo a little bit.
They huddled briefly. Their center, Van Wells, was still getting up off the turf, so he had to get the play separately. And now in position on 1st and 10. Murphy dumps it short. And a cut upfield. Nice cut inside the 25, the 20, and still on his feet. Saladin Allah gets all the way down to the 16-yard line. There is a flag way back in the backfield, and that's going to be against the Cal defense for roughing the passer, TJ Bush.
Oh, yeah, definitely a late hit by Bush. I think it's more accidental than anything, but nevertheless, that's definitely roughing the passer. You're going to see at the very top of your screen, TJ Bush. And I don't think this was intentional or malicious, just an act of the game. Great job by Ryan Gunderson dialing up a halfback screen, getting his playmaker the ball in space, and a great job by the offensive line getting out in front, leading the way.
So it's 1st and goal, Oregon State. Play fake, slant, knocked away. Massis, another good play When you think about all the great DBs they've had at Cal over the last few years, this guy might be the next in line.
I was just going to say, that was a big league play by Massis. He was beat early and then recovered to deflect that ball with his hand. And this was a big question coming into the season for the Cal Bears. They lost 3 players in the secondary to the NFL draft. So how are these new DBs going to be? I think they have a future star right here in Zeke Massis.
And Noah Williams, Craig Woodson, Marcus Harris, really good players who have a chance to have long NFL careers. All off this Cal D.
Big shoes to fill.
Huge.
Massis is stepping right in and doing that tonight.
2nd and goal. That one is knocked down, incomplete. That was the other cornerback, Paco Austin. They have a pipeline in Berkeley. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. We don't have to. I mean, we're not going back decades. This is just in the last 6 seasons. All the defensive backs have been drafted.
Well, Justin Wilcox, former DB. You know, he knows how to coach the position, takes a lot of pride in it. And Cal, as you can see on this screen right here, it's starting to become, you know, DBU, if you will.
They're sending a lot of guys to the NFL.
Pipeline.
So 3rd and goal, Oregon State. Murphy again across the middle. That one is caught, and the tackle short of the goal line to set up 4th down. Another catch for Trent Walker.
That was a really good catch in traffic. Obviously, Oregon State's going to go for it here. Question is, does Cal bring pressure to force Murphy into making a quick decision here in this new system? His first career start for Oregon State. I would expect Justin Wilcox to dial it up.
These are important plays for Oregon State, too. I mean, they may not come back and win this game. They're probably not going to do that, but they're trying to build something with their brand new quarterback. 4th and goal. Cal brings a little extra pressure. Murphy will scramble, and he's in. Touchdown. He's sort of limping at the end of that play. One of the officials, maybe the umpire, kind of got in his way. I don't know if that's what caused an ankle turn or something like that, but there's a touchdown, Beavers.
This is a really good job by Malik Murphy. Staying cool. You're going to see he's trying to throw this football. It's man-to-man coverage by Cal. Uluave blitzes from the 2nd level. Well, there's no eyes on the quarterback when that happens. You blitz one linebacker, you're in man coverage. Great job by Murphy recognizing that the C's parted in the middle, got vertical, and got his team in the end zone.
10-play, 75-yard drive. And they're going for 2 again without Murphy on the field.
Yeah, and they need to hurry up. That play clock's going down.
Yeah, down to 2, down to 1, and now
Timeout, Oregon State.
Ooh, they have to burn a timeout. That is not good when you're down 31-15. So a costly timeout spent by Oregon State. You need those if you're going to complete a miraculous comeback. They'll get organized here. Meanwhile, coming up, Trent Bray, he is barking at the referee.
It's a really impressive drive by Oregon State. Malik Murphy, 2 series ago, throws a big-time interception. Cal runs it back inside the 5. They punch it in. But he doesn't flinch. He gets back out there, leads his team down the field, gets them in the end zone. And here we are, 16-point game with a little over 8 minutes to go.
They went for 2 last time, didn't get it. Now you kind of got to go for 2 again. It's a good drive for Malik Murphy.
Great drive. Showed a lot of what he's made up of, and the mental makeup, resilience to brush off that interception and lead a touchdown drive.
So Johnson in at quarterback, Allah in the backfield. Play fake. And just nothing happening there. So 2 two-point plays which have not worked and not even close to working. Kind of puts a damper on the drive, but the Beavers do get a touchdown. It's 31-15.
ESPN College Football is presented by Old Spice. Men have skin too.
One of the great places in this awesome college town, Corvallis, to go have a cold one, watch a game. Squirrels Tavern, founded all the way back in 1974. You know what they're really known for?
What's that?
The Squirrel Burger. Okay, a patty, Swiss and cheddar cheese, grilled ham, and a fried egg with no squirrel included.
Can we get one of those right now?
Sounds pretty good.
That sounds amazing.
Sounds pretty good.
Squirrels.
8:16 to go. Oregon State showing some fight here after a touchdown drive. Fair catch signal for the Bears. So with 8:16 to go, Cal gets the ball back. Well, we're really excited about this. The all-new ESPN app. Best way to watch sports, all of ESPN, all in one place. Live games, live stats. You can track your fantasy teams. You can personalize your favorite leagues, teams, and players. All of ESPN, all in one place. So the Cal offense back on the field. Jaren Kiave-Sangapolotele, what a debut it's been for him. They haven't asked him to do a whole lot here in the second half. Handoff on first down, and a nice run. Big hole up the middle. Brandon High all the way out across the 45-yard line.
Fantastic job by the right guard, Vadakani. You're going to see him.
Vadakani may be their most talented offensive lineman. Guy who's hurt a lot of last year. Part of the offensive line problems, I think, were the fact that he couldn't stay on the field. Now another carry for High. This time, after a 22-yard run, he gets one.
Yeah, we're going to go back to that big run. Vadakani's right here. Watch him on this pull and this kick out. It's a thing of beauty for offensive linemen watching this big fella. Boom, right there.
Ooh.
And that's what opens up the big hole for Brandon High. This is that moment. Oregon State, they desperately need the football back. They're still well within this game. 2 possessions, 3 timeouts, but they need a stop right now. It's time to start mixing some looks on Jaren and bring some pressure.
I put that in the pancake category. That was a heck of a block. High again, straight ahead to midfield. Stop there. So it'll be third down. I mean, I think job number 1 for Cal is to take as much time as they can.
Absolutely. They're going to let this play clock run inside 4 seconds before they snap it. We heard about this revamped defensive line for Oregon State. It's time for these pass rushers to show up in a big way for this Beaver football team. They need to get the ball back for their offense.
That guy we were showing, Dexter Foster, number 7. He's had a relatively quiet game. Guy they're really excited about. Play clock at about 5. They snap the ball and incomplete. So that stops the clock, intended for Jordan King. And they got a little pressure on the young quarterback. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that's exactly what Trent Bray did. He brought an all-out blitz there. He wanted to see if the young signal caller knew where to go with that football in a hurry. He made the right read, just an errant throw, and this is what Oregon State needed. Ball's coming back. A little over 6 minutes to go, down 16.
Game's not over.
Not at all.
The game is not over.
And now Malik Murphy, he gets to operate in the 2-minute drill, and this is where he's most comfortable. He had a lot of success on that last drive, playing with a little bit of tempo. Oh, boy.
Flags thrown.
Oh, boy.
I think, did Oregon State commit another special teams penalty?
They did. They did.
Wow, what a mess it's been for the Beavers.
Offside, defense with contact, number 26, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, and Cal, let's see if they think about it. They might send the offense back out there now that it's 4th and 2.
Justin Wilcox, I think he was tempted. He was taking a long look out there.
He gave a couple waves. The offense was ready to go. I don't mind this decision, though. I expect another hard count and pin Oregon State deep and make them go earn it.
2 penalties on special teams for Oregon State. More than that, really, but 2 important penalties.
First drive of the game. Remember, it led to 7 for Cal.
It did. It was a huge play in the game. Disorganized on 2-point tries, burning timeouts. That will need to be cleaned up for the Beavers. Fair catch inside the 15. Oregon State's offense back on the field, still with a chance when we come back. All right, it's time for us to honor those who serve. Brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Well, the tight end for Oregon State, Bryce Caulfield, very proud of his brother Brandon. Staff Sergeant currently stationed at Fort Riley in Kansas in Cartage Company. He and Bryce were reunited when Oregon State played in the Sun Bowl to finish the 2023 season. You see those hills above the Sun Bowl Stadium in El Paso.
Very cool.
And Bryce is really proud of his brother and what he does to serve this country. 31-15. Beavers trail. They do get the ball back. 6:10 to go. They have 2 timeouts. Malik Murphy back on the field and looking to throw. He'll throw short right and along the sideline. Koss. And out of bounds to Hatcher. Let's go down to Stormy.
Yeah, Dave, Murphy back on the field, but after he was noticeably limping coming off the field on that last touchdown run, he was very uncomfortable on the sideline, struggled to put much pressure for a while on that right knee leg area, lower leg area. He was stretching it out, trying to run it out, but something to keep an eye on here this drive in crunch time, last 5 minutes.
We certainly will. It's great to see him out there gutting it out, though, right now.
2nd down and 6. Pressure comes, he takes a hit, and it's incomplete. So the big hit on the play. Now 3rd down. This is what Stormy was talking about. We were watching.
Yeah, he's taking some big hits tonight.
It was that awkward, you know, he ran the touchdown run in, and as he finished that run, that was something about the way he planted, landed.
Big 3rd and 6 here for Malik Murphy. His offense, can he keep this drive and hopes of winning this game alive for the Oregon State Beavers? Trent Walker at the top of your screen, matched up in man coverage.
Pressure comes, and the dump off is incomplete. So now it's 4th down, and even though they're inside the 20, well, they're sending the punt team out. That surprises me.
Interesting.
And I just figure if you have any chance to win this game, you probably need to go for it. Instead, Beavers offense off the field.
I mean, you do have 2 timeouts. You got the 2-minute timeout coming up, but you need 2 scores and two two-point conversions. So I don't want to say this is waving the white flag, but time is definitely not on your side if you're Oregon State.
AJ Windsor, the punter.
I mean, it's 4th and 6. This is manageable.
Yeah. DeJesus has had a really good game as the return man. How about changing directions, going back to the left side, cuts it upfield. DeJesus finally goes down inside the 35-yard line. Man, is that guy a good punt returner.
He's electric.
So the Cal offense back on the field, and the real star of the night has been the true freshman quarterback.
Sangupolo Tele. He's been absolutely superb from the get-go. There's his first touchdown pass of the night, the back shoulder to Mason Minnie. Then he comes back to Tron Grizel on the slot fade. Those are back-to-back possessions to start the football game. His career couldn't have had a better start to it. And then there's the touchdown to Morris later on in the second half. 3 touchdowns on the night, 234 yards. He has been absolutely fantastic.
You know, those deep numbers, those are misleading. He made it a set of throws going deep down the field that are about as nice as you could make them. And sometimes Oregon State made a good play on the ball. Sometimes his receiver didn't catch it. Brian Harsin has to, I know Brian's kind of a stoic face up in the coach's box. He's got to be thrilled with the way his young quarterback is playing.
Well, he's got a great weapon to build game plans around moving forward. And talking to Justin Wilcox this week, and you're trying to kind of pull some stuff out about Jaren, and there's almost like a little smile, and it's almost like he kind of knew what was going to happen. And everything Jaren's done tonight, it's what we expected, and it's been excellent.
Handoff on 2nd down, and a run to the left side by Raphael. It does sort of appear as if Cal's going to have a true running back by committee approach early in the year.
It makes sense. 3 quality backs, Brandon High, Raphael, LJ Johnson, all transfers that came in. Very talented guys with a lot of experience. And as we all know in college football, just the grueling game that it is and the injuries that take place, you need to have a full stable of backs to get through an entire season.
So 3rd and 3 coming up. By the way, for 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. Even tonight, Cal a long-range field goal make. The kicking game has been such a nightmare for the Bears seems like year after year. And the kicking game has looked solid.
A lot of things that have been an Achilles heel have seemed to be turned around. Kicking game, we talked about pass protection multiple times tonight. This quarterback play, things are looking good for the Cal Bears right here.
Third down, and those tight ends come tight to the formation. They got a lot of tight ends on the field. Handing it off, and a run by Raphael, I think just a little bit short at the 25, and the Beavers are going to burn their final timeout.
That's their third and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So 4:22 to go, 4th and 1. We'll see what Justin Wilcox wants to do here. I would think he might just go for it, forget the kicking game, and try to win the game. If you convert here with the Beavers out of timeouts, basically you win the game.
Yeah, you're sitting pretty good, and I also wouldn't be surprised if he does elect to kick a field goal here, you know, just to make it a 3-possession game. You know, that pretty much almost seals it as well. But I get it. Hey, if you want to get out there and kind of prove something to your team and your offensive line, hey, I believe in you. Go pick up 1 yard. Let's put the nail in the coffin. Let's finish this game with the ball in our hands. I understand that decision.
Looks like that's the decision for Justin Wilcox. They've converted 1 of 2 4th down tries. Sangapolatele in the shotgun on 4th and 1. He moves Raphael behind him. Now he's going to come up under center. And Cal will call a timeout. So Oregon State stayed disciplined. They didn't jump off sides.
That's their first charge timeout of the half.
I guess it doesn't hurt to see if they'll just give you a freebie.
Yeah, no, I like that decision by Justin Wilcox. Get out there, put a little pressure on the defense. Oregon State doesn't jump, but you have timeouts to burn. I think that was a really good decision. And now, shoot, offense is staying out there on the field. So did they just want to see how Oregon State was going to play them, or will they run the field goal unit out there to try to make it a 3-possession game?
Must have been a day full of storylines across college football, and it started off the field with somebody that we both care about a lot. Lee Corso, his farewell. Nobody's done more to promote this sport over the last many decades than Lee Corso. He picked the Buckeyes, and they made him look good. A huge win over #1 Texas to start the year. I figure the Buckeyes are moving up to #1. How about Florida State's performance?
Impressive, especially that defensive side of the ball. Tony White, defense coordinator, he has that unit going.
Wow. They were emphatically better than Alabama as that game went along. Handoff to Raphael. Cal converts, and basically that's going to do it.
How good was Tommy Castellanos, the quarterback?
Really good
for Florida State. He was outstanding today.
They could not run the ball last year, Florida State. Could not run it.
In comes Gus Malzahn, offensive coordinator, dials up the runs like he's always done. Castellanos looked great. We mentioned that defense. And also that Lee Corso farewell. I don't know about you, but I got emotional watching that on College Game Day this morning. You know, it takes me back to my childhood and when I was playing, and, you know, just such a pillar of the game.
Totally agree. Take the game seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Just an incredible human being. We're going to miss him.
Yeah. Kind of a mixed bag for the ACC, wouldn't you say? I mean, Cal's now an ACC school. This is their second year in the ACC, and a great win for Florida State. I mean, that's the headliner for that conference. But Clemson loses at home to LSU. Not a deal breaker, not a season ender. LSU is a really good team. You got chances still tomorrow night with Miami hosting Notre Dame, and then you got Carolina with the Belichick era starting on Monday.
So many great storylines across the conference, and great teams and great quarterbacks. I mean, experienced quarterbacks, very talented group of players.
Louisville seems like they're going to be good. SMU's going to be good again. Straight ahead run on 2nd down and close to the 1st down by LJ Johnson. Speaking of SMU, the transfer from the Mustangs.
I like that Justin Wilcox kept his offense out there on 4th and 1. You know, it shows the confidence that he has in this offensive line, and they have played significantly better tonight than they did a season ago, which, if you're a Bears fan, that has to have you feeling really good right now. That combined with your quarterback play, great defensive unit, things are looking good.
They did give Cal a 1st down, so it's technically 1st and goal from the 10. And a handoff. Johnson again. Gains a yard.
And that's the game. You can take 3 knees from, well, no, we're not quite there. Never mind.
2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
We're getting there. We're getting there, Flem.
Don't go anywhere. We got 2 minutes left. Now, wait a minute. You can't go to bed yet. We have Sports Center coming up next after we're done here. Arch Manning did struggle. Buckeyes beat Texas, Florida State. That win we were just talking about. LSU, big-time win on the road at Clemson. Set the alarm clock. Sports Center. When we're done. Just minutes from now.
I mean, maybe it's just, you know, it's past his bedtime. He's had a long day.
Pac-12 after dark. Revival here. Second and goal
so
after
good.
the 2-minute timeout. It hasn't been the most thrilling performance for the Beavers. I don't think it's getting any better, by the way. We're back to action. And now we're just laid out.
Wake me up when it's over is what he's saying. Let me know when it's time to go home.
Oh, man.
It's so good.
Disappointment for the Beavers. Final minute and a half. He wasn't watching us, otherwise he would have stayed awake. That's Johnson straight ahead. So 1 minute to go, plus a few seconds. Look, this is overall, Cal, I've been impressed, especially the young quarterback. The schedule is set up for the Bears. I mean, you can't pencil in wins already, but.
No, you can't, but you look at it, it's very manageable. I mean, you don't play a league game until week 5 when you go to Boston College. And then you look at this, you get Belichick at home with North Carolina, Virginia, and then down here is SMU. You finish your season with SMU coming to you. I mean, the schedule's very manageable here. A couple trips to the East Coast at Louisville. That's going to be a really tough one. Jeff Brom will have his team ready to go, but
you don't play Clemson. You don't play Florida State in league.
No Miami.
You don't play Miami in league.
Yeah.
The Golden Bears are set up for success.
And if your freshman quarterback, Sangu Polotele, continues to play the way he did tonight, this offensive line continues to gel. You know what you're going to get out of the defensive unit with Justin Wilcox, led by, Kedu Luave, the linebacker position. I mean, things grew up to be a special year.
You got back-to-back home games after this one. Texas Southern next week, and then a Big Ten team comes to Berkeley, Minnesota, which would be an interesting test for the young QB.
Well, non-conference, but you said it, a great test. What a great way for your first Power 4 action, against the Golden Gophers at home.
All right, after the timeout, Cal's going to line up for the field goal with Chase Meyer, just to try to cap off the night here. And it's up and good. So that should be the final margin, 34-15 with 20 seconds to go. Meanwhile, it's just such a different story. This is really the last year where Oregon State, now they are officially a member of the Pac-12. It's basically the Pac-2. The Pac-12 will look totally different next year. So they're really operating as an independent. And the schedule is definitely front-loaded in terms of who they play.
Well, it's going to be tough the next month. You get Fresno State at home next week, but then 2 really tough road games. You go play the Red Raiders in Lubbock, and then you go down the road to Eugene. Go play number 7 Oregon. That's not going to be easy. You play Washington State twice, old Pac-12 rivals. But really, it's that first month that you look at. You're already 0-1 with Texas Tech and Oregon looming. Fresno State's a good ball club. It's going to be a tough start for the Beavers.
Everybody around here is feeling like they're on much more solid ground. I mean, this is a strange schedule this year. They don't play a single game in the state of California. You said they play Wazoo twice. October 4th, they take the 5th longest trip in their program's history. 5 first-time opponents on the schedule. Next year, when it's Boise State and Fresno State and others, I think it'll feel like a more normal football season.
Yeah, and I firmly believe this is, as the ball goes out of bounds by Cal, this is not the Oregon State team that's going to be around all year. Trent Bray, Ryan Gunderson, the rest of this coaching staff, they care. You know, they're former Beavers. They're going to get this thing right. They're going to get this football team improved. Just so many new faces on this Oregon State roster. You didn't really know what to expect here in week 1, but they will get better. And Trent Bray, will be sure of that.
So 20 seconds to go, and Oregon State is going to run a play from scrimmage. Just a handoff straight ahead. Just enough for a first down out to the 45. So remember, we got SportsCenter following us. Still more great college football tomorrow afternoon and evening, Monday evening, to finish off Labor Day weekend. But the final seconds will tick off the clock for Oregon State. Some disappointment and frustration for the Golden Bears of Cal. Brock, that is an impressive start to the year.
I was going to say, couldn't be any better for the Cal Bears. There were some question marks coming into the game, a lot of new faces. But if there's one thing I know, you know who your quarterback of the future is. And Jaren Sanguputele, I mean, what a performance tonight. 3 touchdowns, just absolutely spectacular.
JKS, what a start to his career. You got Uluave on the defensive side playing like a star. Field goals were going through. Pretty good start for the Cal Bears to start their year. For Brock Osweiler, Stormy Buonantony, and our whole crew, Dave Fleming saying thanks for watching this presentation of college football on ESPN.